Show of hands who's ready to dye their hair crazy colors out of boredom from the quarantine. Hello lovelies, thank you so much for joining me for today's bonus video. This week I uploaded the first part of my Rewritten Diary series, where I talk about the process of rewriting my debut novel, Starforged Orion. As it would turn out, I'm not the only independent author who is rewriting some of their books. In fact, several people seem to be doing that all around this exact same time. One of the authors who also happens to be going through this process around this exact same time is Kelly Damon, who is rewriting the first book in her Disincarnate series, The Fifth Warrior. Being the absolutely wonderful person that she is, Kelly actually created a Change is Good tag, where she talks about what she's actually changing about her characters in The Fifth Warrior. And she has decided to tag me. Thank you so much, Kelly, for the tag. I will be posting a link to her video down in the description. So, let's get started. Yes, Kelly, I know I did it. Sorry. Today, I'll be talking about the major changes that I'm going to be making with my 6 main characters. Now, full disclaimer, some of the changes I haven't actually decided on whether I'm going with them or not. Sometimes I'm going to be choosing between 2 possible different changes. And who knows, maybe there are changes that I'm going to make that I haven't discovered yet. So this is kind of a moving target, but this is roughly what I have right now. Also, you don't have to have read my original version of Starforged Orion in order to understand this. I'll try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible, but, you know, I'm only doing what I can do. The first person we need to talk about is Natalie, one of our 2 protagonists in this story. In some cases, she would qualify as an anti-hero. Unlike the first version of Starforged Orion, Natalie is no longer going to be an assassin. At least, not by choice. Honestly, as cool as it was to have her be an assassin, coolness doesn't exactly make up for the fact that it's not logical. The fact of the matter is, Natalie wouldn't be doing anything to bring attention to herself. Certainly not killing people unless she absolutely had to out of self-defense. I'm playing with the idea that one of the other 6 characters that we're going to be talking about in this video spreads rumors about someone who looks like her being an assassin, but that's not her choice. So we'll see where that goes. Whether that actually becomes a thing depends upon August. August is another character, and he has changed a lot. But we'll get to that when we actually start talking about his character. For now, let's get back to Natalie. Another thing about Natalie that has changed is her motivations for her goals after the events that happen in the book. All of these goals and motivations are going to be fueled by her life experiences and how people have treated her. Honestly, she will want nothing more than to disappear when all is said and done. So I'm going to explore that a bit more in the rewrite. The next character we need to talk about is Clayton, our other protagonist. Clayton has gone through a bit less of a drastic change. The only thing that's honestly changing is I'm making his personality less timid and naive. Part of these changes stems from the fact that I want Clayton to be more like the person in real life that he's based on. And that person is a bit more vocal. Another reason why I'm doing this is because the prince, another character, has changed a little bit, but we'll get to that right after this. Basically, I'm just trying to make Clayton a bit more outspoken and, dare I say, anarchistic. Anarchistic? Somebody who's a bit more inclined to anarchy, at least in the situation. I don't know what you call that. The next character and changes we need to talk about have to do with Barnaby Oldfield, the Prince of the Hunter Galaxy. The biggest thing that has changed with Barnaby are his actions in the book as well as his motivations. In the original book, Barnaby was part of a terrible, cruel plot against his own mother. In this version of the book, he's no longer a part of that plot. His original partner in crime is still there, but he doesn't think that she's involved either. Basically, he's completely in the dark. Don't get me wrong, he still has theories about what this plot is and who's involved, but he doesn't really have any evidence for his theories, so yeah, that's not gonna go well. I'm also playing around with changing the relationship dynamic between Barnaby and Natalie. Rather than him having been a bully to her from day one, I'm playing around with maybe they actually had a connection and became friends, and then how does that change when he makes a choice? I'm just trying to flesh out their relationship a bit and see where I can take it. The next character we have to talk about is Parthena, the queen of the Hunter Galaxy, who honestly hasn't changed very much at all. The only thing I really want to do with her is give her more depth in her character. Right now, she's kind of a flat, almost saint-like individual, and I want to try to give her more oomph, for lack of a better term. The fifth character we need to talk about is August. August has gone through the greatest amount of change since this rewriting process began only about a month ago. He is completely different on multiple levels, and he might not even have the same name anymore. I'm playing around with changing his name to Jasper, but for now, I'll keep calling him August. In my original story, August was supposed to be from what was essentially Scotland in my world. Now he's actually from what would essentially be India in my world, and he is now mixed race between Caucasian and East Indian. His backstory is the same for the most part, other than the fact that he was kind of a spoiled little brat growing up until he found out the truth of his family. Because of the change in his race and ethnicity, August now looks a lot different. Where once he had pale skin and shoulder-length brown hair, those kind of floofy, for lack of a better term, and blue eyes, now he has really thick black hair, kind of golden, tawny, tan skin, and really intense brown eyes. And honestly, this change in August also affects his overall aesthetic. The original August absolutely would captain an iron ship that has a chain gang for a crew. But not this August. I'm still trying to figure him out from that standpoint. I'm also changing up his pirating tactics a little bit. He's kind of a combination of John Paul Jones, the American pirate, and Val Kilmer's character in The Saint. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense right now, but it will, I promise. As much as August has changed, not even just throughout this rewriting process, but since I started writing the book, I'm really enjoying getting to know him again, because I never knew that this was who he was meant to be. I know that sounds weird and like I'm talking to an imaginary friend, but that's just kind of how I am as a writer. And the last character we need to talk about is Lady Ava. Lady Ava is still Barnaby's fiancée, but where once they were partners in crime in a plot against the Queen, now she's working alone. She's also become a lot more conniving and manipulative, and I'm kind of giving her more of an opportunity to showcase that. In fact, in this new version of the book, I'm going to heavily emphasize the fact that Ava is a foil to Natalie. For all intents and purposes, they have gone through the same or at least similar experiences in life, and they've chosen completely different paths. I really want to emphasize that point in this new edition of Orion. Well, those are the changes I have made to the 6 characters from my debut novel, Starforged Orion. And now, it's time for me to tag people. I would like to tag C.S. Ratliff and Claire Cooter. Tell us about the changes that you are or have made to your already published books. That's all I have for you today. If you like this video, don't forget to bitch slap that like button. And while you're at it, why don't you bitch slap that subscribe button and flick that bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video, even bonus videos like this one. My play How Are You is available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. If you'd like to find other ways to support me, go ahead and check out my Patreon. I'm just saying you can become a beta reader if you wanted to. And don't forget to check out my other social media sites if you want more content. Toodles!